and Jack on the number one station, 98.5 FM, WFAXLP, Ohio. The Ghost Chip Foundation Station. And the views do not necessarily reflect your opinion.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world, we are right here live. This is Talk Therapy Live with your host, Kimberly Bozeman. I'm just a co-host hanging around for a moment, but we have a wonderful show in store for you today. This is Friday, and we call it Talk Therapy Live because it is what?
All the way live.
All the way live.
Yes,
it is.
Yes. Good morning to you all. Listen, we have some good stuff, of course, to talk about. But before we do, Bishop, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad to be here, glad to be alive, glad to be on Talk Therapy Live. Yeah.
All right now.
All the way live.
Well, I want you all to know that you are listening to Go Chick Communication Foundation Station at 98.5 FM
98.5, yeah. We hear you.
And we are on Facebook and YouTube. So whatever way you can get it, get it.
Get it the best way you can.
Hey, listen.
Railway, trailway, it makes no difference.
Oh, what's the song?
Yeah.
I don't care how you get there.
I don't care how you get here. But you need to get here on one of these, right?
Yes.
Facebook, YouTube, call. I mean, it makes no difference. We're here.
We are here. Good morning. Mary Stevenson is here today, y'all. All right. So hopefully you all have had a good week, and if you didn't, you're here. So that means that you made it through.
Yes. Yeah. Some people only make it through because they have great resources that actually give them the tools that they need to make it through. So I'm grateful for healthy emos.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
healthy emos.
I get all that free counseling I want when I need it, when I don't want it. When I think I don't need it.
He always says to me, I'm not your patient.
Hey, I'm not your
patient.
I'm
like, oh, yes, you
are.
are.
I ain't your patient.
You need to be right now.
I'm just trying to let you know.
Man, that's God's whole orchestration.
Yeah.
Putting you in the place where you can get free counseling whenever,
my Lord.
whether you want it or not.
My Lord is always there. Always there.
Yes, good morning to Jill Walker is here.
Everyone.
Y'all come on and feel free to call in too. And the number is,
you can reach us today by calling 614-824-2139. 614-824-2139. Call in today.
And our topic today is, are your insecurities and idiosyncrasies sabotaging your relationships?
Wow.
Now, listen, before we get started, though, I do want to read, because we had a pending question from last week. If y'all remember that, we was talking about longevity, the 7 L's of longevity. And one of the L's, if you all remember, was long suffering.
Yeah.
Don't be quick to take offense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one of the questions was, if you're practicing celibacy prior to marriage, according to the Bible, and then after marriage, realize that you are sexually or intimately incapable, even after a few years, is that a reason for divorce? Or does that fall under the umbrella of long suffering? And Bishop, I'm going to let you tackle that one.
Why you going to let me? You gonna let
because
me?
I'm the host. I'm going to let you tackle that one. I'm going to chime in.
You're going to let me. I appreciate you letting me answer the question. Well, let me see. I'll kind of look at it from the standpoint of, if it's been a few years and, hey, you have to suffer long. I don't believe it's a reason for divorce. You can use it for one, but it wouldn't be, so why do you get married? Is it just for the sex?
That's a good,
You know what I mean? Or whatever your case may be, but you can find other ways to make sure that your partner is pleased,
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
Because there's so many
you
reasons.
can do something.
Yeah, you say you can
Obama
do something.
said yes, we can.
But there's
You
just
understand?
different reasons why people are not able to
Yeah,
have sex,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So is this a physical issue? Is it a biological issue? I
Mhm.
mean, what a physiological issue?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on with this
Yeah.
person? Is this trauma related?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we have to first understand what is going on.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you've been in for 2 years. For 2 years, you know what ain't going on. You know
But
what's
listen,
not going on. However, honestly, you have to suffer along with it.
and even
Better for worse, richer
yeah.
for sickness and in health. So yeah, you have to kind of suffer along with it. But of course, you have to find other ways for there to be some type of gratification that way in your relationship.
So you mentioned the fact the longevity of 2 years, that is a long time. What happens a lot of times, especially during intimacy, is that the partners are not open, transparent, and honest enough to have that type of relationship. You know what I mean? Or that
whatever.
discussion.
Yeah.
They don't have that open discussion. So
Yeah.
you have to be able to talk about what's going on with you.
Right.
And especially when it comes to trauma,
Mhm.
sometimes we're kind of shamed.
Mhm.
That there's that sense of embarrassment where you don't want to talk about your past. And you often try to go along to get along.
Mhm.
So we need to have an understanding, like, what is going on, especially if your partner's love language is physical touch. You're in trouble.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're really in trouble.
Right.
So we know that sex is tied to
Mhm.
identity,
Right.
connection and validation.
Mhm.
So we have to really say, what does this say about me? Am I not attractive?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Am
Yeah.
I not desirable?
Right.
So we
Right.
just really have to sit down and have that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Bishop,
Yeah.
that is not a reason for a divorce, because
Mhm.
there's counseling.
Yeah.
We also have sex therapists.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we are the way that we are.
Yeah. I mean, you have the blue pill, you have the red pill, you have the yellow pill. You just need to pick which pill it is that you need.
Right. But I mean, I can
him or her.
Right. Yes.
I mean, really, it has to be discussed. That's where, the part of it as far as communicating. So, right, we have to communicate what do we believe the issue may be. Doesn't have to be anything that tragic happened to you. It could be a biological. Maybe at this point in time, you know what I mean. You can't do like you used to. But let me give you some of who I used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? But there should be ways around that.
Right. But I mean, it would
Because our relationships take on different form, different time, Been together for a long time,
But based on the question, because she's saying that they're trying to do it the Bible way. They haven't been intimate at all. And then after you get married, you have this discovery that either I'm incapable or my partner is incapable.
Yeah.
And you never had that conversation as far as what your challenges could be. This is like a self-discovery.
Yeah, but that'd be a mean person to hold that back for a long time. And y'all been dating, courting, going on for 2 years or whatever. And at some point in time, y'all going to talk about it and get close to doing it.
Yeah, because
you understand?
I mean, is that kind of like false pretenses?
I mean, I don't know about all that now. You talking about?
I mean, if you know, wait a minute. If you know,
no, I wouldn't say that.
If you know you have something going on in your life where you know you, you don't want sex, you don't like sex because whatever you're triggered by, and you withhold that information.
You saying that you don't want it and you don't like it. That's another story.
But
if you don't want it from me.
But you don't divulge that information, and you go ahead and marry someone.
Yeah.
Would that be grounds for divorce?
Hey, we're gonna have to call a lawyer in on that one. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, you've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yes.
That's tricky.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
That's deception.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's the court filing fees. It's falls somewhere under there. I'm trying to tell you. But that's me.
Yeah, now that's a hard one to just say
That's
yes or
me.
no,
Yeah.
if that's cause for divorce or not.
Yeah.
But I would say this, if that is a self-discovery and you really love this person,
Yeah.
then I would be angry.
Oh yeah.
However, you would have to get some help. You would have to go. We would have to go get some help because now I'm messed up.
Well, that's an open-ended. I mean, that's because even after you go get help, and I mean, now you're starting to doubt yourself. Well, is it me?
Well, now you find out that it wasn't you. You find out
But
that
you
it was
don't
the other
know.
person. But so I have
Maybe
to.
they either like something else, which is not the opposite. Maybe they more attracted to the same sex.
Those are things that you have to find.
You have to talk about it.
You have to
know.
talk about, but you know what? Because we offer premarital counseling, and a lot of times couples are not honest. They don't fully divulge information, and all this stuff comes out later
because their focus is to get married.
They're in love with
that, right?
They're in love with the term marriage and don't really have an idea what it all entails.
No.
So Jill says, what about those that have had relations before marriage? How does that come into play? Because you were not spiritually mature, but now you are. Well, I mean, you still kind of know what you're getting into. If you have sex before marriage and you are a believer, because we understand, what the word says about fornication, what the word says about adultery, but if you're trying to make it right, because how long you gonna do that?
Right.
At least you do have some kind of idea of what you're getting into. But this is why we have to be open and honest, because whatever you don't like or whatever you do like, you need to talk to the one that can make that happen.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Yeah. And communication is key.
It is.
It is key. You know what I mean? I wish we could give statistically how many believers actually wait until marriage to have sex.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder what the statistics are. You think they're great or small?
I believe they're probably very low.
I'm just throwing that out there.
But hey, kudos to them. To God, if you can do that, then because you do have some that can abstain.
Yeah, for sure.
You just have to have really healthy boundaries.
Yeah, because then they're like, well, I really don't know if I can or if I can, because I never have.
Teach me.
You understand?
Teach.
Teach me, master.
And listen,
say the whole thing if you're going to say
teach me, master.
Teach me. But for sure, it could be small, could be greater than what we think it is. But being adult about it, you know what it is that you expect when you come together with someone and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to devote our lives together. And because it could happen early, it could happen late, it may not happen at all. However, we need to communicate.
That's right.
If you don't communicate really what's going on, then hey, you have ground. It's ground for something.
And then we have to really decide on what marriage means to us.
I like that.
Outside of intimacy.
I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll be key.
Yes.
That'll be key.
Yes, because as you said,
will be key.
People grow, change, evolve, life happens. I mean, what if your spouse gets into an accident and can no longer perform? Are we going to get a divorce then?
Exactly.
So we really have to, what is your idea of marriage? What do you value about marriage? Because sex is like, I venture to say maybe a fourth of the pie. Some people would say a half or three-fourths.
It's the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
it's icing on the cake. It's closing the deal.
So we have to learn.
We have all these other intricate parts, and then we get to this because now this is all of me.
Yes.
This is the rest of who I am, and all I've done today.
Yeah.
This is all of who I am, and we have that exchange.
But the thing is, though, too, if you're not able to perform. We're talking about intimacies.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference in having sex and being intimate, because you can still be intimate.
Right.
There's still that physical touch.
Yeah,
There's still that holding and
Yeah.
caressing.
But it's going to come to that point to where, okay, we do that all the time. Can I have the rest of it?
But if you're not able to,
You know,
you have to be
then
okay.
you have to go to other measures.
Yeah, you have to be okay with,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
just have to decide, what value do you have on marriage? What is your expectation?
Other than
of
you being
marriage?
selfish. Now, it could be
Mhm.
that one may just may not. I
Mhm.
don't want to do that anymore. Well, I'm this age. I don't feel like being this age. I should be doing that. You know what I mean? There's
That's
a group
more
of
of
people out
a
there.
probably a hormonal issue
Okay.
going on. But this is why we have to be open and honest,
Mhm.
because you do still want to fulfill your loved one's love tank.
For sure.
So perhaps I need to
For
go
sure.
to the doctor to get hormone
Yeah.
pills or whatever
Whatever
you need to
Yeah.
do to make it a working,
Yeah.
loving relationship.
For sure.
Outside of the fact that there's physical restrictions. If you
Yeah.
get to a car accident, you break your pelvis
Yeah.
or something. I mean,
No, that's real, because we're married and we made these vows.
that's right.
You understand?
Yes.
So it's a covenant agreement that I have with you.
Mm-hmm.
So am I going to fulfill my end now that you're not able to do what you used to do?
Right, right.
Being young or
And
old.
remember, the other L for longevity was to remain loyal,
Yeah.
remain
Yeah.
true to your commitment.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you cannot perform on one end doesn't mean that I'm going to go out here in the streets or whatever and get my needs fulfilled.
Right.
We still have to be loyal.
Have to be loyal. You know, there are so many people who actually go through what we're talking about. You know, you never know what it is you can do until you actually face it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You don't know. I mean, we're giving hypotheticals here, but you never know what it is that you can do until you actually face that situation.
Yes.
You know,
So
and you pray.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You pray. You do
Lord,
it the Bible
help
way.
me to navigate
For sure.
this situation.
For sure. In such a sexualized society and world that we live in.
Yes.
Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look. I mean, you know, so.
It reminds me of the ABC method of counseling.
Yeah.
A, you have an activating event. B, you have a belief system about it. And then C, you have consequences because of that belief system.
Gotcha.
So if your partner is not intimately connected to you, or they don't want to have a relationship with you, then you're already making a conclusion about what's going on.
Right.
What does this situation say about me?
Yeah.
You know, so we have to begin to challenge our belief system. It's not me, it's really them.
Yeah.
Although I'm being affected by that. Like some of the men, you know, they get around their boys or whatever, you know, and that's the thing. You feel like you're more of a man because more sex that you have or whatever. If that's not happening in your life, then it's like, what does that say about me?
Yeah.
You know, but we have to understand it's not about us per se. It's about what the other one's going through.
Yeah.
You know, so really challenging your belief system.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Question: what if you begin relationship before marriage, but then you make a decision to stop until marriage? Then your partner can't handle or won't handle the change.
We've had that a few times in our you know, counseling those who are contemplating marriage. You know, where now they see the seriousness of it, or maybe it's something they didn't know, but hey, they'll set a date for themselves. We're not going to do anything anymore until, you know, we actually get married. And we sing that several times, but it's a decision that the other party has to respect.
Yes.
You know, well, you know, you're going to get me, right? But right now, we're not going to do this until.
Right.
So you either want me or you don't. But this is what
the
I'm living
scripture
by.
says, how can two walk together except they agree? Now we need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And if we both say that we are believers of Christ, and we need to align ourselves with the word of God.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be hard.
Yeah.
But it's doable.
Yeah,
and again,
you're gonna get me in the end.
Right. Yeah. So I can
I know you
understand
proposed
the
2
frustration.
years, you know, down the way,
Right.
but we're gonna wait these two.
I can understand the frustration because we have awakened something
Yeah,
in each
that's true.
other.
That's true.
However, we have to submit ourselves
Yeah.
under the power of God. We got to set healthy boundaries. Now, you got to go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
for
getting
sure.
late. You
For
got to
sure.
go home. You know,
Because today we live in a society where, and I don't believe it's anything new. It's just that what we are all now have been awakened to by social media, things of that nature. People have always lived together before marriage.
mhm,
You know, it's not anything new.
Right.
Children who get old enough to become an adult, they get a little boyfriend or girlfriend. They try living together. It's nothing new. It's always been done.
mhm,
I think as we become older, we always have, as older saints, we have to be careful not to look down and judge those
right.
who are
Yeah.
where we used to be.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, we've done it too.
Yeah.
So don't make it look like it's the end of the
Right.
world.
Yeah.
You understand?
Help them through the
You know,
process.
I know what y'all doing. Okay, well, you probably did that same thing too. So let's be careful how we judge.
Yes,
Only thing
absolutely.
we can do is make sure that we set the criteria for the word of God to be met.
Right. Yes.
That's all we can do,
Yes.
right? And
Mhm.
what everyone else, do is on their own thing. But we set the principles of the word and pray that everyone follows those.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's all we can do. But if you come to the place where you say, hey, we're going to get married next year, and this is what I want to do. I don't want to continue on in sin
Mhm.
and then get married.
Mhm.
I want to go ahead and wait
Because
this
you do
out.
want God to bless your
Yeah.
relationship.
And we've seen it happen for couples. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
honorable to God as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so one may come up with the idea or the feeling by where the Holy Spirit, let's put it like that,
Mhm.
prompted by the Holy Spirit, and the other one may not be in total agreement, but will become submissive.
But yeah, because you understand
And we'll be
why
in agreement
they're
later.
making that
For sure,
decision.
for sure,
And if they don't,
for sure.
then you have to still take a stand
Yeah.
for what's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
You mean you're not willing to wait?
as I
I mean,
always
you need it that
say,
bad?
people around you will change when you
That's
change.
true. That's true.
You know, so if they're not
That's
on
true.
board or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm on board because I want my heart to be pleasing to God.
For sure.
And if you can't get with that, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about how you feel, but you got
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. Because it says a lot about a person if you're not willing to cut that off for a period of time to honor God, so
Mhm.
we can receive the best blessing that we can in our relationship.
Because he cannot
So
bless sin.
So if it's
But
not,
you know what I mean? We cannot make
Yeah.
God bless sin.
if it's not that, it can be something else
Yeah.
that you're not willing to hold off for
Mhm.
until, so you just have to be careful.
You got
Have to
to
be
be on one accord.
Yeah.
Be on one
Mhm.
accord,
Mhm.
so
For sure. Good question. Good
very,
question.
very good question.
Mhm.
And anybody else? And
Yeah.
Nadine is here,
Yeah.
Ophelia is here.
Good question.
This is good stuff, y'all. So our topic is, are your insecurities and your idiosyncrasies sabotaging your relationships? We'll take another question, then we'll get into our subject today. A question: do you think that a person can be truly happy or the relationship be at its peak if one is still operating through their insecurities? If not, do you think that is something to be addressed before marriage?
That's a good question as well. Because you're talking about insecurities, right? Can a person be truly happy or the relationship be at its peak? No, because you have these insecurities still that haven't been dealt with.
That's
so
right.
Everything needs to be out on the table before we progress and become husband and wife.
That's right.
Before we get married, if there are any insecurities about yourself or about the other, your partner, it needs to be talked about. Your relationship will never be at its best.
It can't.
If you're holding something back,
you can't be at your best.
I like that. That's better.
Seriously, as an individual,
that's better.
If you have insecurities, if you have trust issues, you're not a happy person yourself.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're going to cause everyone around you to be unhappy because now it's like every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you. And who has that to do?
And so the communication comes into play because we have to talk about this in order for myself to become, a better version of myself, and for our relationship to become better.
Yes.
So if we don't talk about it, because evidently I need help in this area, it's respected and honored if I come and say, hey, I have all these securities about myself.
Yes.
That I need to get help for before we progress on to.
And can I venture to say that you do not need to be in a relationship until you get your insecurities healed and dealt with. You don't need to be because you're taking that into this dual relationship.
And then it depends on what the insecurities are. When you say,
such as,
I don't know. It depends on what they are.
I'm talking about lack of trust.
Yeah, well,
trust issues.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But seriously though, a lot of times we have trust issues because somebody else has hurt us. Someone else has done something to us. And we have this mindset that it will never, ever happen again. We have these bitter root judgments. And what bitter root judgments do, they grow up and choke the life out of you and the people that you're with. Everyone is going to suffer.
Right.
So if that is you and you have trust issues and all these insecurities, because I gotta track you on the phone, what they call it, the Apple little, they have these little things that they can track you from Apple. I guess you can like place it in people's cars or on their.
Thanks for telling me that, but I did not know. I appreciate it.
I got to check your wallet.
Yeah.
You do not need to be in a relationship right now. Get yourself healed.
Now, that's kind of self-explanatory to me if you have that type of insecurity. But if there are other insecurities, to me, that's like the worst. You know what I mean? If you're trying to deal with a person like that and with yourself, if you have those issues. However, if there are other insecurities that you have about yourself, I think you can definitely probably come see your other professional counselors to be able to say, hey, bring this out, put it out on the table. Now help me work through this.
Yes.
The trust part, that's rough too. You know what I mean? But it's more insecurities than just that. So let's kind of broaden the spectrum maybe.
All right. We have a caller.
Caller, you're on. Go ahead. Wow.
That's good. I'm going to repeat that question for social media. How can unspoken expectations be met? Is that correct? How can unspoken expectations cause problems in a relationship?
Yeah, thank you, caller.
And that's an excellent question. And as y'all know me, I always got these quotes or whatever, but I'd like to say that I'm good, but I'm not that good. No one is a mind reader, and don't expect for your partner to be a mind reader. And it's so unfair to the other person to expect for them to respond or react in a certain way, and they don't know what is going on. So your voice is your power. Your voice is your power. So open up your mouth.
You heard it yourself. I'm expecting for you to do something that I've never, ever divulged information.
They say, well, you ought to know me by now.
Yeah, for sure.
I am a human being who has A, B, C, D, E, F, G to do all day long, tossing 10 balls around all day. Talk to me. Just talk. Thank you so much for that call.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, thanks. I don't know. That's good because any other time, y'all pretty good at reading our minds.
We don't want to, though.
I mean, but you do it so well. But then when it comes to something that we think you should know,
it's just like the Lord.
We're surprised.
What the Lord say, Adam, what have you done? Not that he didn't know, but he want you to talk.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, y'all kind of know everything else, So when we figure, well, I thought you knew.
Speak to me.
Okay, I got you.
Do we have another caller? Okay. All right. Yes. So that was a very, very good question.
Yeah, for sure. Because that happens a lot. But you didn't tell me.
Right.
You didn't tell me.
Right. And can we
Yeah.
get to the point where we kind of paraphrase? Because then I know you got it. Because what happens in relationships, it's a lot of miscommunication.
Sure.
No, you didn't say that. Yes, I did. No, I said da da da. If we have a conversation and we paraphrase and say, okay, so what you're saying is that da da da, and then you can say, yeah, that's it, or add to it.
And men and women are different in our communication styles.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So what you may believe that you conveyed, I haven't fully received. So maybe we need to talk about, hey, did you get what I said and how?
That's the paraphrase I'm talking about.
You understand? Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
All right, we have another caller. Go ahead, please.
Caller, you're on. Go ahead. Are you there, caller? Good morning.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Right. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yes. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. 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 Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Right. Right.
Soul ties.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's right. Yes.
Right. Amen. Right. It is.
Right. Right.
Right. Right. Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you, callers.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You know what was.
So I want to summarize what she said just for social media because they can't hear her question. So first of all, she was talking about the idiosyncrasies, like why do we have those?
Yeah.
All right. How did we
Everything she said
arrive
was
here?
good, though, but yeah, for
right.
sure.
Yes. How did we get here?
Yeah.
And she mentioned that we have to do a self-check. We have to do introspection to see to make sure that we are in alignment.
Right.
And once we discover how we got what we got, this stuff is passed down from mama, because mama, I sound like her now. Now I'm doing what dad always did.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need to determine how big is this giant, because depending on how big it is the amount of work
for sure
that we have to put in. And then she also talked about doing things in God's order, in divine order for the relationship to work out. I thought that was real
Everything
good.
she said was on point. I tell you, there are, I think that's taking a slow turn right now. I am seeing a lot on social media when it comes to, women who do not mind submitting to their husbands now, right? I can see a lot of that turning there, even when it comes to modest apparel. Dressing differently, and what it is, and how you dress is what it is that you attract.
Need to be a whole class.
You know what I mean? But it's a slow turn. But when you think about, being equally yoked together, you have the egg and you have the yolk. That joker got to be.
That's right.
Beaten into one.
Yes.
And, you know what I mean?
And a woman
it takes time for that to happen.
Following a man as long as a man knows where he's going.
I don't care what he's doing.
You know what I mean?
That
and
is
as
true.
long as a man can show a woman that he loves her and cares, he can just about get her to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Just about.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Ditto.
All right. So
but wonderful.
Yes, there is another question. Say you find out the insecurities about yourself while in a relationship marriage. What would be the proper steps in making sure that you grow and the relationship doesn't fall?
Communicate with each other first. And then you'll see where it leads from there.
Yes.
Right.
And
and if you can work it out with each other first before even involving counsel, or after you think you're in a good place, let's go and see what else we can add to what we've already gotten to a good place.
And I always say
but if you don't communicate, if you do not communicate.
Yeah, you have to communicate. And because we're always changing, we should always be doing introspection. This is why I often mention sitting in the classroom of silence.
Yeah.
Get with yourself and sit and allow your inner voice to begin to speak to you, because your inner voice wants the best for you. And your inner voice is going to begin to reveal things about yourself that you don't ordinarily find on a day-to-day basis, because we're so busy doing whatever. And once that discovery comes, then we can identify it, those innate characteristics that we don't like about ourselves, because we have the power to become whoever we want to become. But first of all, we have to be aware of our shadow self and begin to illuminate that shadow self by putting the work in, but still letting your loved one know that this is what I'm working on. So I'm picking a fasting day because I want to cut the head off the giant. I'm going to fast. I'm going to pray because I don't like this about myself. So bringing your loved one in so that they can be on one accord and hopefully pray with you also.
You have to be willing to work with each other for whatever insecurities that the other person may have. It's brought to the table, bringing it to the table as an adult. So let's try and work on this so that what makes me better makes our relationship better.
That's right. Yes.
You know what I mean? So you have to be willing to work with me, give me some time, give me some space. This is what I'm going through because I want to make our relationship better.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
You have to be the best individual that you can be so that you can make the overall relationship better.
For sure.
Because your toxicity is going to bleed over into the relationship and it's going to sabotage the relationship.
So we don't want to go into a relationship, not knowing, blindfolded, and we've been dating for 10 years and you never told me this one critical thing about yourself.
Yes.
That's probably a little
can
deception.
can we just, because like I said, we do premarital counseling. You guys, ma'am and sir, can you please be open and honest, because we cannot deal with things that we're not aware about. I know you want to get married. I know you do, but it's so unfair to everyone, because now, what happens is that people will come back, make a U-turn, and then we have to try to correct what we didn't know anything about. So we're able to help to the point that you're ready to be open and honest.
But it's building up that strength and character to open up the mouth and say, blah, blah. You understand? I ain't want to say it, but here it is. Well, it's a good thing, and you may feel a certain way when you first spit it out. But in order for you to go into a healthy relationship or healthy marriage, you're already in a relationship. You want your marriage to be healthy starting out. Spit it out.
Yeah.
Get it out, and let's just work on it and make the best of what we have.
Especially if this is something that can come back later, years later, and bite you all in the behind. I understand sometimes, because of trauma and things of that nature, that you may not want to divulge all of that stuff. But if there are things in your life that you think will come back up later, you need to put that stuff out there.
That's why you court, and that's why you have time to talk about and not get the cart before the horse. You slow things down, all of that. I know one thing that was said, earlier today is, you have to take time to be able to know the person and make up in your mind, okay, I don't want to keep nothing from you. And I see our relationship getting a little more serious than what I expected to. What do you think we may want to take our relationship? From there, you can say, hey, I think I need to share this with you, so there's no surprise. We're talking about marriage. Hey, let me share with you this.
Some people are like selfish, though.
That's true. You can call it selfish, and then it's hard for them to spit it out. I guess the bottom line is being selfish, but it's so hard to overcome. Really, you have to look at it from
But marriage is the most weighty decision that a person can make in their lifetime. It's not about buying houses. It's not about cars.
But
you're talking about engrafting someone else into your world.
And not everyone goes about it in the biblical sense of how we learn and been taught and according to scripture. So,
but you're still hiding information.
That's true.
Whether if you're saved or not, you're still hiding information that is pertinent to the other person's informed decision-making process.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, question on the floor.
Because they may feel like each person doesn't bring their game 100%. I mean, coming together. You ain't telling me all your stuff, so let me that's their insecurity.
And so the question is, it sabotaging?
You holding something back.
Yeah. So is it sabotaging your relationship? I would have to say yes. All right. Question: how could past hurts influence how a person reacts today? If this person has not been healed from their past hurts, you're going to catch it. Guess what? You're going to trigger that other person. It can be something that you say, something that you wear, cologne that you have on, the way that you laugh. You are going to catch it.
You're always going to be looking, watching, anticipating. It's about to go wrong somewhere.
They're guarded, so you can't even be free in that relationship. All right, we got another caller. Mm-hmm. That's good.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's That's
you.
good. Thank you so
Good,
much. So
good.
the caller indicated, was talking about sex during marriage
Mhm.
or during dating. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, having sex during dating and learning how to wait on God. She was saying that what she has found out is that a lot of times relationships don't work after you give yourself away in the courting relationship, and sometimes they break up or they fall apart prematurely because you have had sex now and the other person for whatever reason loses respect for you. So she was also saying, I like what she said, if you abstain from it, then you will really see what your relationship is made out of.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So her word of encouragement was just to wait on God,
I
essentially.
like it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Another question on the floor. Is it healthy in a relationship or marriage to separate for a while and come back once you feel like you're in a good headspace? Or do you feel that the separation could let your mind take you into deeper waters and potentially kill the relationship forever?
That's a very, very good question. Very good question. I'm gonna let you go ahead and tackle
So
that.
I want to understand the first part. It says,
Yeah.
is it healthy in a relationship or marriage to separate for a while and come back once you feel like you're in a good headspace? Are we talking about, what are we talking about here? Is this for lack of sex? Is this talking about your idiosyncrasies or insecurities? What is the reason why we're talking about separation and perhaps divorce? So I would like to understand that, because depending on your
The situation. Yeah.
is going to determine what we need to do. But
Yeah.
if you're
If it's
in a
physical violence and stuff like that,
Right.
separation is probably good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, because I would like to say, if we're talking about insecurities and idiosyncrasies, those are things that we can work through.
Yeah.
And that's a problem today in marriages because we live in a microwave society. Everyone wants everything so fast. They want it to happen right now.
Yeah.
People are not staying married for a long time. So if you are married and we're talking about insecurities and idiosyncrasies, I would say communication. I would also say to perhaps seek counseling.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. The last part of that was, let me see, like you're in a good headspace, or do you feel that the separation could let your mind take you into deeper waters?
Yes,
that
most
often
definitely
happens.
It's always better to stay. Like I say, if there is physical violence, then you should probably go ahead and separate, right? If it's come to that place, if there's any one being hit on or whatever the case may be. But if you separate, no one gets married to separate.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that. But whatever it is, we're going to work through it together.
He says
Let's do
trust
like that.
issues or insecurities that you can't seem to get over.
Okay.
And the only reason why you can't seem to get over it because one partner or the other partner does not want to put the work in. But if you really love this person that you are with, you will try to put the work in.
You will. Ain't no trying. If you really want to, put that
because
work in.
if okay, Jill mentioned leaving the toilet seats up or keeping the cap off the toothpaste. If I know that you don't like that is irritating to you,
come behind me and put the seat down and put the cap on. No,
because why not? That's an easy fix, right?
Yeah.
And because I love you, I want the best. I don't want to see you upset.
Are you gonna be by yourself?
Right. Because it's the small foxes that destroy the vine.
Exactly.
Those are easy fixes.
Exactly.
And if they are insecurities, you have to get over your ego and take a look at yourself and say, you know what? I need to put some work in.
Yeah.
Sure. I stated earlier that you have the power to become whoever you want to become, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. And a lot of times, and it depends on about where did the insecurity start? How young were you when it started? Have you carried it over into your adult life?
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole nother relationship, a whole nother dynamic. You're at a different age. You're an adult and not a child. So now you have to, since you're an adult, put away those childish things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to work on those things that's kind of still there, work on it. So what you have and you having this other person, you don't want to lose out on a great person.
That's right. And that's why I'm here, Kimberly, from a Healthy Emotes Counseling. Because the truth of the matter is a lot of times people don't know what they don't know.
That's true.
They come in with one presenting issue and then kind of find out, digging back to the roots, that is something else altogether.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you mentioned stuff coming from childhood now is attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's become part of their personality.
It's a growth.
It's
a growth.
Like
it's a fungi. You
like
understand?
A spiritual cancer.
Seriously, and it's been growing for a long time. It's never been addressed.
Yes.
Never been addressed.
Exactly. So again, you have to put the work in. Question on the floor. What do you? I'm sorry. What? Read that.
What do you do when a person has communicated their issue, but they don't want to go to counseling because they don't like how it makes them feel, meaning the issues that are brought up in counseling?
As we indicated before, marriage and essentially relationships are only for the mature. Again, like the commercial back in the day, let go of my ego, let go of your ego. I cannot emphasize that enough. Ego, edging God out. You don't have no room for God to move at all, because now you got so much pride in your life that you don't want to address the issue. And again, if you love and care for the individual that you're with enough, then go ahead and seek counseling. It's not the end of the world. So again, it is dealing, and I understand it's very uncomfortable.
It is, but hey, we'll talk about it with family and friends. That's going to tell somebody else. You go to a counselor, they can't tell nobody.
Right, yeah. But
go to somebody you don't know, you understand?
But
let your hair down.
What happens in couples counseling, each partner wants to be right. It's not even about what's right. It's about
you watching a tennis match.
It's a tennis match. Everybody wants to be right. And this is why I say you have to get over yourself and let that stuff go and hear really what is going on.
And I think in some cases it's we've had the idea of what our marriage is going to be like based on our parents' marriage or someone in the church that we've seen, but we know every marriage is different. You know what I mean? You do what it takes for yours to make. How your mom and dad did their relationship, you and your spouse, probably you'll be able to take some things from that. But you will have your own way of doing things. You know what I mean? So you just have to what works best for you in your relationship.
Absolutely.
We take pieces from each,
you
know, from different,
because you
different
have someone different.
You have someone.
You don't have your daddy, although you are a lot like my daddy.
I got you.
But you don't have your daddy, and this individual has different needs. They have different beliefs. They have different values.
Because you'll have the qualities. Okay, you say I'm not your father, but I have some of your father's qualities or characteristics. That's what I believe our sons and daughters should look for. If you come from that good family, you want the characteristics, some of the characteristics and some of the qualities that your father or mother had. You do look for in other women. You don't want a loose woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want that. You want someone who's put together, whose mind is right.
Some men
and
do.
They don't want them to marry and bear children with. They call fun girls.
Okay, I got you.
That's what they want. They want a fun girl to have, to have fun with. But you ain't gonna get married. You understand?
Yeah.
We can do that all the time, but marriage is off the table.
I
ain't bringing you home to meet my mama.
Right. I get it.
It's true.
Get it. And one thing that I have also found in my experience is that when a partner does try to talk to the other one about what's going on in their lives and how to get their needs met, the other person will get offended. You know, it's like, oh, you trying to tell me what to do and you're not my daddy. No, I'm just trying to tell you, you know, like what I see.
Right.
I see that you don't follow through. You know what I mean? I see that you don't handle this or whatever. And then the other person will get very upset.
Sure.
Or you put clothes in the washing machine and they're there all week.
Right. Oh, that's
they don't want to hear about, because now it's an indictment against their character.
Exactly.
These are but it's the truth though.
But you know what? All of that is good, but I know you, you know me. It is about covering each other.
That covering each other.
You know, you don't always do the dishes. I see them here. Well, hey, they need to be done. I'll go ahead and do them right quick. It doesn't take but a second to do, but it's about covering for each other. If the clothes need to be washed, then, you know, hey, let me go ahead and wash a couple loads right quick.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's there and that's what needs to be done. It's about covering. It's about being there for the other person when maybe they've gotten a little too busy doing other things.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Other things. So that's how we do. And I believe it makes, it makes for you to have a, you know, a better relationship, because now you know how to. Now you know what to expect. You've gotten used to a person's pattern and way of doing things, and we're watchful over each other. That's the key. We have to watch over each other, right? If things are, you know, getting a little out of control and, you know, dishes aren't being washed, clothes aren't being washed, whatever, what can I do to kick in? You know, if we do that, I think we have a better chance of our relationship growing and becoming better. It's more of an adult relationship. The expectation is there. I know if I can't do it, you got me.
That's right.
You got me.
I like that word, covering each other.
That ain't all the way.
Yeah, it's good. Covering each other, not getting so easily offended. Because what happens a lot of times are people are so sensitive.
For sure.
And they don't want anybody to say anything to them.
Yeah, because I'll do the clothes, so you may not like how I fold them. But
and they're done.
Clean and smelling fresh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't fold the teas all the way right, but you know, they in the drawer, right?
Jill says, I think we go into a marriage thinking we know what it should look like, but you find out no, each marriage is different.
It is. It is very
your marriage is going to be whatever you make it be. Your dating relationship is going to be whatever you make it be. All right, correct.
It's like adding on another room to the house. You know, you already have the blueprints. This is already done. This is already set. So we have the basics of marriage already set for us. Now, what you add to it to make that part of your marriage, is yours.
That's right.
Add on another room, add on another house.
Yes.
Add on another plan.
And we have to be on one accord, though. And that comes from communicating. Correa says, growth in relationships happen when you both realize it's not about right or wrong. It's about communication and understanding. Ding, 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 ding. Even if your partner feels like you may be over exaggerating your, what is that POV? Power of, I don't know, being voiced and understood are still valid. You must have the communication and the understanding. And that, you know, feeling that your partner is over exaggerating.
We do that from time to time.
We
do.
But
we do that from time to time.
But I love it because we have a sense of humor. We do. We have.
Girl, you crazy.
And I tell him quite often that he is very animated.
I am.
Y'all know.
I am.
Yeah, he's very animated.
I am. I have to be.
But I love it, and you have to have a sense of humor. That the best relationships are those that are in a win-win situation. It's not about one person winning, because we're a team.
We're a team. What's POV?
Point of view.
Y'all know we're just coming into the scene.
You know we owe y'all. You talk to me tonight. Like, bring it down to simplest forms. All right. Point of view. I love it. Learn something new today.
It's about teamwork, right? It's about teamwork. We're building something, right? We want a winning franchise.
That's right.
We don't want this what we've started to end with us. We want to go to those who that we bring into the earth.
Yes.
We want them to go get the same and have it, make it even better.
That's
more
right.
of a dynasty.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a whole business arrangement.
It is.
It's a whole, so again, the question was, are your insecurities and your idiosyncrasies sabotaging your relationships? Or do you find yourself at a place of starting over again and again, in a relationship, out of a relationship? You have to come to the place where you say, maybe it's not them, maybe it's me.
Because everyone's saying the same thing about me.
Because everybody is running for their lives. You know what I mean?
Run for the hills.
Right.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yes. So if your answer is yes, do the introspection, sit in your classroom in silence and work it out. But this has been an episode of Talk Therapy Live where you get a smooth blend of therapy and the word.
It's been live today. I've enjoyed myself. Thanks for all the callers that called in today.
You guys are awesome.
We can't wait to see you and talk with you on next time. Thank you.
Bye.
See y'all Assembly of Faith at 12:30.
12:30,
Come
y'all.
on, check us out. God bless.
98.5 FM.
Take care. Bye-bye.